Hi, guys. This is Iris with the Essence of Iris. I want to share something with you. It is amazing. While I was helping my mom with my dying brother, my neighbors were robbing me blind. Yep. While I was helping my mom with my brother who had AIDS, he was dying. We knew it was inevitable. He was in his last stages. So my mom brought him to her home. And of course, I stayed with her with the kids for a little bit, probably a couple weeks, but I was going back home to get things. But I must have stayed away too long. I was robbed. They took everything. I mean, this was an unbelievable situation. So I had double loss, not only my dying brother and seeing my mom grieve because she has to care for her son who's dying. But then I had to start all over again. This is how ruthless some people can be. Here I am, a single mom with elementary age children and going to work every day, just grinding, doing the best I know how to do. Running, dropping the kids off, picking them up, buying groceries, washing clothes, helping with homework, the whole gamut. Whatever else I'm leaving out, I had to do all of that. Well, while I was busy minding my own business, my neighbors had a plan of business that didn't concern me whether I wanted to be a part of it or not. They made a plan. So I had gotten some, back in the day, you did what you had to do. The alarm things wasn't that feasible, so I only had enough to get security bars on the outside of my home. And it was a porch. It's visible to everybody. They got on that porch. They took the bars off by unscrewing the bars, the nuts from the bars and the windows, climbed in the front window, and they commenced to going shopping in my house like it was Christmas. They had small children too, but it didn't stop them from considering that they were robbing me from what my children needed. I got in the house with my youngest brother. He went with me to go pick some things up. And this time I must have stayed away too long, which how long can you stay away in your own place? Anyway, they were monitoring my home, obviously. They didn't tell me the story. I just saw the evidence. They commenced to take down my children's bunk beds, took those out. They took my china cabinet and the dishes and whatever else they wanted to shop for. My house was ransacked. It was so overwhelmingly violated for me in my heart. Here I am grieving for my son, my brother that's dying. And then I have to go home where the only place that I can get a little peace. And then I had to deal with that violation. I felt like I was raped. Somebody was taking something from me without my permission. And my bed was all turned upside down. They were probably looking for something. And on the way going downstairs in the basement, they had the washer at the back door. It was too large to slide out, so it was stuck. And you may be asking, well, you don't want to accuse people. How you weren't there, you didn't know. Well, there was evidence. It was wintertime where there was snow. We saw the footprints, my little brother and I. We saw the footprints leading from my home to their garage with my things in there. And to beat that, this is the kicker right here. You ready? They had a heavy-duty orange extension cord running from my upstairs using my electricity to have electricity in their home. Who does that? I don't know what was upstairs, but it wasn't a working brain. Like, that's evident that I know that y'all using my electricity. What is going on? Anyway, you know what I had to do? Kick in that resilience, that starting all over from the ground up, that courage to say, what do I do? How do I protect my children? Of course, I had to start all over again. I was not going to live in that house again when I know grown men plan on each side of me to have my home as their place of shopping for free. So that felt very unsafe for me and my children because I was the only adult. So they knew that I was vulnerable, so they took advantage of it. And only thing it did for me was cause me to go higher. So I moved out of that city. And of course, my brother did pass. So there was grief. And dealing with that and seeing my mom grieve, burying her child, that was a lot. And life still had to carry on. I still had to work. I still had to care for my children. I had to find a space in all of that to grieve, if I even did. And so that is another situation that, even though it may not seem like a big deal to some people, you can just replace that stuff. It wasn't free. All the things that I had accomplished over the years, it was just taken away like it was nothing. That was my first home that I bought when I was about 25 years old. So I started all over. It was a better environment for my children, and it just worked out. I don't give myself options to quit, especially the children were my driver. It was like I could not just quit and do what? That was not an option. And it was only me to do whatever needed to be done for them and myself. So this story, this is crazy. I forgot about some of this stuff. But as I sit down and think about what can I share that can help and bless other people, to know that even when the most devastating thing may happen to you, or you think it is at that time, something else can always show up. And you can get more than one thing at a time. So I just keep it in mind that this is not too big for me, or I wouldn't be here. This is for me to build, to grow, to mature, and to develop my mind to figure out how to resolve things. I always have to think, go higher, and I'm not in denial. I surely wasn't in denial when I had to save and buy furniture and buy everything again. And so I want you guys to know that I did it anyway. And if I can, so can you. I just can't stay down. That's how I got to be who I am and where I am today, because I never quit. You can do it too. And if you need outside help, it wasn't easy, but I did it anyway. And just challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to see what you can do when the going gets really, really tough. And it seems like you have no options at all. It's just overwhelming. It just looks hopeless. I did have those experiences, but I just start praying, and I start thinking, and I start being thankful for what's left. And it usually works out. And it's like I said, it's not easy, but you get through it. Look at some of the things that you've gone through where you thought that was it. This, I thought it was going to take me out. This one almost took me out. But I looked at those children and I was thinking, who's going to take care of the kids? Me. So that's what caused me. I noticed that when I have situations like unexpected situations or unforeseen challenges, I always steal away. Just recently, I visited my son, and we were talking, and I noticed that at his home, I stealed away in the bedroom, and I just started reading my Bible. And then I said, son, you know what? I did this when I was raising y'all. After I took care of everybody got all the clothes ready, made sure everybody was fed, the house was picked up. I was still away in the bedroom and just read my word. And my youngest brother, that same brother, he just told me the other day, he said, Iris, when I stayed with you for a minute there, or whenever I spend a night, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm using the bathroom or whatever. I always see a light under the door. And I would just peek in there and you would be reading your word. Always. So that's ultimately, that's what got me where I am. Reading the word, believing, praying, feeling connected in spite of the things that I may be experiencing. I wasn't saved. The majority of my youth, I got saved in my early 20s, like after my husband passed. That's another video. But I was about 22 years old. And so all the stories before then, I wasn't saved. So I didn't know about the Holy Spirit. I didn't know about praying. I just dealt with it. And I got something deep down inside. And now I have help. I always have help. I'm never alone. And it's just going to be all right. It's going to be all right for me and for you. As we continue to build this community, you have so much more in you that you probably have not tapped into. Untapped potential. You have more capacity to deal with things than you think. And guess what? If you say you can't, you're right. You can't and you won't. And if say you can, you will and you'll make a way. But we have this community. So we're building one story at a time. All of us have life stories. So we can build. You guys can leave comments. You can ask questions. Because some of the videos I may have given a wrong date because I can't just think of all the dates and get them right until later on I think about it. But so if you have any questions that seems confusing, I get it. It's my story. I can tell you anything you want to know. But I'm here for you guys. And I just want to let you know that I have to say thank you. Because this morning when I woke up, I felt overwhelmed with joy to know that the numbers that I saw, that there are real people behind the numbers. It's not AI. There are real people that click and listen to some of my story or listen to all of it. I appreciate whatever you guys have done to make me feel like my life matters. And so does yours. All these things I went through and I was victorious over or endured, it blessed me because that's the mindset I had. And you can change your mind today. You can change your mind today. Start working on renewing your mind so you can look at those things that used to scare you or they used to make you think it's just a done deal. I can't do anything. That's not true. I did, and so can you. So, if you enjoyed this story, another story, please give me a like, subscribe, or share. I would appreciate it. And leave a comment. What story devastated you in your life? What experience did you have that you can share with me so that we can resonate to know that we are going to make it together? We made it through that, and now we're here, and what's next? All righty, guys. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it more than you can ever know. Have a good day.